welcome back for our second episode of the Troopy Build. It's been a pretty busy week in the shed and I'm going to show you what we've been up to. Well, yesterday we cut the roof off. Our friends came over and gave us a hand, so we'll show you how we did it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Just stand up. Oh, hear all the rust. Didn't actually do anything.
Oh, so one that comes out, so I was going to go on one thing. I said,
I love that now.
Crunchy.
I will never forget.
Oh, what's this stuff again? Just flying through the air. Oh yeah.
It's an avalanche.
It's all it's ugly. What is that?
Oh my god. We've also managed to finish off all these panels here. We flushed them all up and they're looking good. And we've also done them on the other side. Today's agenda is we're going to take off the roof completely and start taking off these side panels, which is really exciting because I think it's going to give it a whole new look. Goodbye, rusty rain gutters. You won't be missed. Oh, she's definitely seen better days, eh? Look at that.
Ah.
Gross, hey? Just a little cancerous. Clearly the worst section with all that rust. Lovely. And this side too. It's pretty much all by the seats.
These quarter windows, it's just a folded rubber seal over a lip, so I'm just using a screwdriver and flicking that fold back inside the lip and moving all the way around, and eventually that window will come free.
Learn from our mistakes, remove your windows straight away. Stop being
Not
lazy.
Sure, not sure why we didn't do that. That was now immediately obvious.
Pure laziness, I reckon.
Yeah, laziness and tunnel vision of trying to fix all the daunting amount of rust that was in this thing. Was. There's a lot less now. So we're pulling off the brace in between the two walls, and after that it's just a ring of bolts along the bottom of the wall and we should be able to pop the whole wall off. This is the bit we've been looking forward to for a long time.
Meaning like the whole 3 weeks ago, isn't it?
It's a long time.
Looks like a proper safari African truck now. Just need to put a few bench seats in the back. And we'll be offering safaris for anyone that wants to come with us.
The low price of $400 per person. And
For
that is
20
not
minutes.
including any meals or any accommodation, any flights, any actual tours, It's more or less just a direct donation to us.
You can get a photo in it.
We will, for $400, we will send you a photo of this vehicle.
Should we just keep it like this? Leave it as a ute? Just a long wheel-based ute? Kind of dig it. Oh, almost fell. A long-based ute. Love it.
So today's job is removing the rear quarter panels. We're going to take these off because we need to replace the rear sill as well. And there's some rusty holes in these, so we're going to replace the whole thing. We'll get started by drilling up the spot welds and seeing how this all comes apart. Bad.
Look at the amount of rust that has just come out of this whole area. And there's some more there. And there was more yesterday.
Never ending.
But it's gonna look good when it's done.
Got the back end apart. The next stage of the process is repairing the chassis. Found some rust under there while we're doing everything else. So cut these rivets off, remove this rear cross member and get to fixing it. So we're going to weld this brace in, make sure the chassis doesn't move when I pop this rear section off.
Hold that. Let's see how bad the rust is.
God, now we know what we've got to fix. Oh dear.
Yeah, it doesn't look so flash, does it?
Yuck. As long as the rego place doesn't see that, we'll be fine. That's the chassis repair section tacked in. A couple of spots to fill in now, make up some panels, then should be good. That's the replacement chassis section made up out of a bit of 100mm box section. Got it all welded and flushed, and it fits in there just nicely. So that'll replace the two pieces that were riveted to the back cross member. Perfect. Right, so problem. The old ones, the old mounting, because it was cut in the middle, it came out quite a lot more. So now that I've mounted something that's flush and square in there, it doesn't meet the back of this rear chassis cross member when I've got it aligned with the original bolt holes. So I don't want to touch anything there because it could cock up the body mounts and that sort of alignment. So it just happened to be about a 6mm gap, and I just happened to have some 6mm plate lined up laying around. So cut out a spacer plate, that's going to get welded on there. All the holes will get drilled right through it, and it'll actually end up better for a tow bar mount and that sort of thing, because that's going to be a hell of a lot stronger, having end up with about 10mm worth of steel instead of 6mm to bolt through. So go ahead and get that ready.
Happy? Let's come assess. See how many people get angry at your weld.
Something for the internet welders to get upset about.
Looks good.
You're too fast, you're too slow, you're too hot, you're too cold, you're too left, you're too right.
While Monty's been finishing off the back of the chassis, I'm going to start cleaning up the red crossmember, just get rid of all the rust that's in there, and tidy it up so I can put it back on. This is the extent I have to go through to protect the hair from all the grinding dust. At least Monty doesn't have this problem, you know? He just gave me the dirtiest look. It's not my fault you're bald.
Not my fault either.
How good. Not my fit. Do you want me to clean the whole thing? Or just that patch?
Be real careful with that when you're going into the channel because you've got lots of edges that you can patch.
Oh, I hate it. I find this scarier than a cutting blade.
That thing's heaps scarier than a cutting blade.
I'll have a go.
Hold on to it tight.
Yeah.
A little bit at a time.
Turn out. Look, not perfect, but a huge improvement. So I'm just going to put some primer on it and then ready to put it on. Okay. It's looking good.
Flash as.
Better than factory.
Very professionally applied can of rail black.
Nobody's going to see it anyway.
My best work and it's going to be invisible. Moving on with the rear end repairs. Now got these sections here remade and filled in. Had to cut those out as these were all rusted to nothing. So both sides filled in, nicely done. Ready to move on to cleaning up these sections here so we can get some panels on. So now that we've cleaned all these backside of the panel mounts up, it's out with the hot glue gun to tack in some of the holes, some of the repairs. I got a little carried away with the grinder in spots and nicked the back of this brace, so gonna fill that back in with weld. Everything's nice and clean now, so it's just touch-ups, and then we can start getting ready to put some of the new panels on, some bracing here, and then get on to putting the rear sill in. I've spent some time building these back up. They were all rusted and I had to chop them out just to get the old panels off. So I've rebuilt them purely by putting a piece of copper underneath it and laying a whole lot of tacks and then just sanding it back. So it's all nice, one nice uniform shape. It's got to fit this profile here. So I'm going to have to carve that side out a bit further so that this panel clips nicely over the top. One hand, it's not very graceful, all the grace of a baby hippo, but you get the idea. And that is our nice new replacement section from the 40 factory. So you can see how that fits in there, and this little tang is a support for the whole rear quarter panel that's going to go over top of that. And that is looking flash. We're finally putting bits back on instead of taking bits off.
I'm gonna watch all my hard work get hammered and all the paint's gonna chip off.
Make it abused.
That's alright.
This is, well, trying not to destroy all the paint. Oh, there's a bit of swap in there. So far so bad.
Flash.
Didn't even need to hammer it much.
Yeah, could have painted it after all. Look at that.
Brand new. So I've applied some glue to the back of the corner channels there prior to sticking it on. So I've got to stick it on, clamp it up, try and hold it there in the right spot, and then tack weld it in place and get some nice good tacks to hold it there. I've got the panel kind of ratcheted across to get this in the right position, which I can tell with my angle gauge, which is down there on the center of the crossmember. So I'm just aiming for, that's right in the middle, so I'm aiming for 90 degrees on each one of these panels. And fingers crossed that that results in some nicely aligned doors, because we're a long way from having doors on it. So time will tell, and hopefully it tells the right thing. So there it goes. Ugh. Well, it's gonna go back now. Right, it's on. So now I need to clamp it up in a couple of different spots. Make sure that it ends up where and what I want it to be. I don't really have to work this fast. I'm just making myself stressed, really. This stuff takes ages to cure, so it's going to have to be clamped for quite a while. But it's stressful stuff, because once it goes on, it's not coming off.
Bang
90
on.
degrees on the dot. Couldn't do that twice if I tried. We're not going to show the other side because it's going to be like bloody 75 or something outrageous. So that's good. We're going to leave it right there.
We got to do a little bit of modifying on the panel to make it fit.
The $600 panels.
Yeah.
Like
Anyway,
the brakes.
it
We've
works.
got Chinese-made panels, original Toyota, Australian-made panels. So yeah, just trying to make all that blend together has been a bit of a challenge. Had to cut away a substantial section of these corner channels here, which were unfortunately really expensive. But you got to do what you got to do. There's no rule book, there's no bloody instruction manual on how to assemble these things, so it's going pretty good so far.
And there wasn't many YouTube videos, actually none, on this part for a Troopy rebuild, so.
So we'll try and document this as best we can, because there was nobody really out there that could help us. But yeah, we'll try and give it our best sort of dissection of what we've had to do if anyone else trips over the same stuff. So, yeah. Both our rear quarter channels are in. They've been sitting overnight. For the sealant, I had them all clamped up just so nothing would move. And they've stayed where they're supposed to be, which is excellent. And that's the finished result. So now, because it's not anywhere close to the recommended temperature for painting anything, I've got these quarter panels heating up under the lamps. I'll chuck some epoxy primer on there. We epoxy primed the back of all this bracing here last night so that it was cured for this morning. Get them primed up, get them trimmed, and dummy up how they're going to fit. Next on the menu is actually clipping these doors together, and I'm going to sit them in place and just make sure that the back of this is actually square enough to receive the doors properly. Everything's going to move because I've got it braced up there in an effort to try and get this rear quarter was sort of hanging down on an angle like this. It's what happens when you pull all the structure away from the back of it. So we'll find out what happens, what it's going to look like, and how these are going to fit once all this bracing, that's a ratchet strap across to the corner. It's all a bit huckery, but we'll see how it comes out. That was pretty inconclusive. I really need a second pair of hands for that, but they go in the hole, so can't be too bad. So these two sections here are off the top of the original quarter panels. They've got this nice pressed shape in them, which is going to be quite hard to recreate, so that's why I cut them off the originals and I'm just going to reuse them. This one's in not bad condition. This one is a little worse for wear. The top lip is rusted out, so I'm going to clean them up as best I can, and I'll use the section that's still in good condition, which is really the bit that I only needed anyway. So we'll polish them up and get them ready to fit to the donor panels. There we have it. A couple of polished up pieces ready to go. Trimmed off the excess. That was the rusty bits at the back. Not sure how well you can see that. But those should do nicely. They're both in good enough condition to reuse, and that'll save me remaking the complex curves at the top of those panels. Panel is trimmed and in place, just about ready to go. I've got this curved section that I was cleaning up before to go on here. So I've left enough there that I'll be able to trim this piece down to fit here. And we should be all go. Everything's primed. We've got weld through primer along the back where it's going to be tacked, and everything else is epoxy primer, which is what the professionals told us to use. So time to glue it in place and hope for the best. Now that the panel's fully installed, I've gone ahead and attached the top section. Took a bit of trimming, as expected. Had to take a bit off the leading edge and quite a lot off the bottom, but I'd left myself a lot to play with there because I knew that there would be some adjusting involved. That's come out really nice. It matches the body lines very well. I'll blend that in with some more welding, obviously. Fully weld the whole thing out and then flush it back, and you'll never know that it was added on later. Beautiful, it's coming up good. Now that the top piece is tacked in place, I need to fold this little tang over so the whole section, or the whole upper panel, all the way along is all folded over at the top. So grab a couple of hammers. I've trimmed that off to a length that it's not going to touch the bottom. We'll fold that over. So far so good. We're about halfway. Might need to change the equipment. It's going to get quite tight underneath here, so I'll probably have to make it a bit of a finer point just to keep something against it until I can get that folded all the way over, and then I'll just put a hammer behind here and keep tapping it on this side to pinch it down and flatten it right off. There we have the finished product. Nicely flattened over. Ran around the old section as well to tuck that in a bit better. She's looking good. So now just the final weld out on this panel and that's it done.
At the end of the rear end build, I guess, Monty's done a great job putting all the panels on. We just put some sealant through all the gaps, just some automotive sealant, using some masking tape, scraping away the excess, just to fill all the holes so no water or any grinding dust and things get in there while we continue the rest of it. I'm just going to pop some epoxy primer on it, just to stop it from rusting. We're not anywhere near painting, but it's just to cover any of the bare metal in the meantime.
Righto, that's us for this episode. Tidied up the back, got what we wanted done and then some. Started chipping away at the front end, so tune in next time and see what horrible treats are waiting for us up there.